Ahoy toy, welcome to Transfixed, the channel that may remind you of something. Like a better channel? Why, you old coot. Speaking of coot, we'll talk a bit about him later, but for now, we're looking at the Studio Series 86 KUP. Now, call me naive, you're naive. But I thought this Studio Series KUP was going to be almost as good as a masterpiece. I mean, not in quality, but it just looks very cartoon accurate, which is usually what the masterpiece is aiming for these days. But, yeah, it's not quite. It doesn't quite hit the mark. Apart from he and Hot Rod being a little on the small side for my liking, they didn't quite get the face sculpt right. It's close, but there's something wrong with the way his nose lines up with his cheeks, I think. The nose should probably come down a bit more. Anyway, it's not quite right. And the other thing is this chest design here. It's kind of cool that it has this sort of metallic paint underneath the clear plastic. I know that they've done that with other versions of KUP, like the Toy World one, but it's not really for me. I would like it to look more like the cartoon, which means we need some gray paint. It seems to be just regular light gray paint that's on his chest, which would be the same as the G1 version, and I'm just going to use some cheap acrylic paint and take care of that. Yeah, I guess if we're going off this, it should be a little bit lighter, with maybe a hint of blue to that gray, but I don't have that shade of paint, so I'll just use this for now. Now, I can tell by the features you see in the clear plastic that this is snapped into his chest, so we should be able to take that off, because we want to paint it from the inside. So let's start by pulling those arms off, because they're going to fall off anyway. Those are a little too loose, and then we'll flip these up. Originally, I'd use these curved tweezers to try to pry back here into the armpits to move this forward and then create a gap to pull it down with. But you can actually just pull this straight down, because the idea is to get the tab out of the chest here, and these ones will come out afterwards. So you just need something flat like a spudger, or if you don't have a spudger, you can just use the handle on a pair of nail clippers, and you just want to get it into that space behind the clear plastic, just outside of the, to the left or to the right of the tab, and then just pull it forward, like down and away from the body, and it'll pop out. So once that tab comes out, it'll just fall right out. If you don't own a pair of these, you can get one at the beauty department at your local Walmart. If you don't own a pair of these, what's wrong with you? How long are your nails? Gross. And here's the finished chest piece, painted in gray. Yes, a couple of coats. Well, more like 3 or 4 coats on the back, because this is thin paint. And I like to do it this way, having it painted on the inside, because then it has this nice glassy top part. And again, the shade of gray may not be correct. It probably should have a bit more blue in it, or a bit lighter, if you want to match the animation or the G1 toy, but that's all I had. And I can't change it now because it's on the inside. So I want to repaint it. I could do the top. But anyway, let's put it back on KUP. He's airing out his armpits here. So, of course, you just put the little tabs in the bottom, back in the bottom part, and then just, yeah, snap it back into place. Get that tab in there. Wait. Always hard to do things with a camera in my face, but actually, I guess you got to put it more, a bit more straight on. It doesn't quite like the angle anymore because I've painted that tab a little too much, so it's a bit tight, a bit snug. Anyway, it's in place now. I probably should take some of the paint off of that, but let's just get it back into place to see what it looks like. Gotta tab these into place. These are tight here. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. By the way, I had a problem with the back piece kind of tabbing in, where these two slots go into these two tabs. I didn't realize this tab here, just in case you ran into this little tabby part sticking out here has to go into the back, the lower back there. That will click in before these click in. It's not just the top part. Probably if you read the instructions, it's in there, but I was a bit sloppy, so just in case that trips you up. There it is. I think that looks nice. Nice solid chest piece. I think that's better. I personally just don't like that clear design. I don't know where that sort of line work and circuitry underneath there, whatever that's supposed to be. I don't know where that came from, even though we've seen it on lots of figures. I know the Toy World had it, and this Advanced Toys Coot, which I just got recently, has this as well. Not sure why. There's a clear piece that's just like this that goes on top. These are actually just painted clear pieces as well. You can see it's clear on the inside. They just painted the top, just like I painted the inside. I think that looks alright. Let's do another comparison and we'll wrap this up. I just want to touch on the Masterpiece cups for a little bit because I did buy. I passed over the Fans Toys one, and I was holding out for the X Transbots lock, and I finally got it in hand. And as soon as I took it out of the package and lifted it, I could tell it was bad quality. I held out thinking that that the X Transbots was going to be more cartoon accurate, and I'm not sure it is actually. But of course, by then it was too late to get KUP. So even though I might get a replacement, I'm not sure I'm happy with the look of it. Especially in the face. I guess KUP has a hard face to master, but I think that, whoops, I think Fans Toys did a great job. Anyway, yeah, I was able to get this guy for a good price because underneath here there are some like some cylinders in the shoulder joints where there's a screw put through, and they both of them broken, but it actually doesn't fall apart. It doesn't affect the transformation. It works just fine. So I was able to get this guy for a good price because it was broken, but you know, still worked fine. So lucky me. Still paid more than retail, oddly enough, for a broken figure, but cheaper than the aftermarket prices. But it got me thinking, since the problems with lock, and since this one is broken, maybe KUP is supposed to be broken. Remember, in the movie, he did fall apart, and that's why this one comes apart. You know, maybe it's accurate. Maybe X Transbots and Fans Toys have both made an accurate, authentic KUP because it's old and broken and falls apart. Huh? Well, if I were in the marketing department at those companies, that's what I would tell you. Anyway, I guess that's enough blathering about KUP. I do go on like an old man. Anyway, and sorry if the lighting is a bit off for this end part. I've actually just moved and filmed the second part of this review, the second part of this video in my new house. So, and that's why my videos have been a bit slow coming out lately. Hoping to get back on schedule soon. Almost got all my Transformers unpacked. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good night.